Deploy the electromagnetic pulse, now. Imagine hearing that absolutely frantic scream cutting through the total chaos of a failing cockpit. You're instantly on the edge of your seat, your heart rate is just spiking, and honestly, that is exactly where the writers of the ice landing want you, before you even have a chance to take a breath.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Building narrative tension, deconstructing the ice landing. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking at an absolute masterclass in pacing, breaking down exactly how writers create an episode that continuously escalates the stakes and maximizes that narrative tension. Because, it's not just about things exploding. It's about how those explosions are structured to keep you totally hooked.
The script doesn't gently ease us in with some sweeping establishing shot. No way. Instead, it literally detonates. The sky explodes in a flash of blinding white heat. Plunging us immediately into these intense, blinding sensory details establishes sudden, inescapable peril right off the bat. The narrative momentum doesn't just start, it explodes like a powder keg.
Section 1. The Aerial Crisis. From Sky to Spiral. Let's map this out, because the pacing here is absolutely crucial to the tension. The sky explodes. That happens instantly. Seconds later, the stealth shuttle is spinning violently out of control. Just moments after that, the engines completely fail. And immediately, Ethan is forced to grab the manual flight controls. It's a rapid-fire sequence that brilliantly illustrates how terrifyingly fast the situation goes off the rails for our heroes Ethan and Marcus. There is literally zero time to think, only to react.
Right in the middle of this massive, high-tech aerial catastrophe, we get this incredibly grounded, super physical detail, his small hands gripping the heavy yoke. It hits the nail on the head, perfectly highlighting the physical struggle. It pits these massive, metallic odds against the fragile humanity of the characters. It just makes the danger feel so real and so immediate to us.
Section 2. The EMP Countermeasure. A Desperate Fix.
So how do they survive? The crucial point is how the characters use technology to buy themselves maybe a few seconds of life. The EMP, or electromagnetic pulse, manifests as this wave of blue energy rippling directly from the shuttle. Its one and only purpose in this split second is to short-circuit the incoming missiles just yards before impact. It acts as a momentary relief valve for the characters, and honestly, for our tension too.
Let's break down the exact sequence of this desperate countermeasure. First, Marcus hits the EMP switch. Then, that wave of blue energy ripples outward. Next, the missiles short-circuit mere yards away from the hull. And finally, they veer off and explode harmlessly into the ice cliffs. This clear cause and effect shows exactly how our heroes neutralize that first massive threat. You exhale, right? They're safe. Well, for about 1 second.
Section 3. The Ice Canyon Crash. The Environmental Threat.
Talk about a massive contrast. Just moments ago, we had this agile stealth shuttle capable of deploying EMPs and dodging missiles in the sky. But the reality of deploying that EMP, the shuttle's engines are now totally dead. That same brilliant piece of technology is reduced to helpless debris, crash landing hard and skidding uncontrollably in the snow toward a massive crevasse. If you want to know how to create an episode that keeps the audience absolutely glued to their seats, this is the secret sauce. You instantly replace a neutralized technological threat with a brutal, immovable environmental one.
Brace for impact. Ethan's urgent command hits us just as hard as the ground does. The escalating dread isn't about being blown out of the sky anymore. Now it's about sliding completely out of control toward a frozen abyss.
Section 4. The Iron Hook Cliffhanger. The Final Shock.
The pacing here completely shifts from a rapid blur to a deliberate, terrifying crawl. The shuttle finally grinds to a halt, dangling halfway over the edge of a bottomless ice canyon. We think the worst is finally over, right? But then the windshield shatters. Heavy iron hooks smash straight through the glass, and the shuttle is violently dragged downward. It's this relentless sequence designed to just rip away whatever false sense of security we just built up.
And check out the brilliant thematic contrast happening at the end. We started with the high-tech stealth shuttle fighting advanced missiles in the sky, but the cliffhanger? Heavy iron hooks. We have literally plummeted from the absolute peak of advanced aerial combat to a brutal, primitive, physical attack on the ground. It's absolutely terrifying, mainly because it introduces a completely unseen, unexpected enemy. I mean, who or what is throwing iron hooks out of a bottomless ice canyon?
Which leaves us staring at this final, maddening question.
With dead engines, a shattered windshield exposing them to the elements, and primitive heavy iron hooks literally dragging them down into the abyss, how can Ethan and Marcus possibly survive the bottomless ice canyon? The writers have engineered a seemingly inescapable puzzle. And that, right there, is how you create an episode with narrative tension that guarantees your audience will be scrambling back for the next part. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.